I asked you a question, dumbass.
You leave next sale, and I'll saw your head off.
You can do it! Cut his fucking head off!
Waterboy movie deep dive coming up next.
Is it possible to speak to Captain Insano?
Shoot, Mr. B.
Captain Insano, I notice sometimes when you are wrestling or opening up a can of whoop ass, as you like to say, you seem to be sweating quite profusely.
Yeah?
I was wondering if perhaps you might need the services of an experienced water boy.
That's pretty cute. How old are you, kid? 11? 12?
I'm 31 years old.
We got the boys together. We got Nico. We got Mike's story. He's not really the biggest movie guy, but you love this movie.
I do.
Nico, why do you love this movie?
It is my #1 favorite Adam Sandler movie of all time. I'm a big football nut. I feel like it's an easy watch.
It's football accurate. I mean, there are no errors in the football play calling or any.
31-year-old, college football player killing it.
There's some holes you can poke in here, but Brandon Whedon was a thing too, right?
Yes, he was. So 1998. So this is post Happy Gilmore and Billy Madison, but this is kind of his third major role. Kind of cemented him, and mostly this movie it's bad, but it's so good, right?
Yeah.
It's so
stupid. It's right after one of our favorites passed. Rest in peace, Mr. Farley up there.
Yes.
It was about a month before recording that Sandler lost his best friend. They talked about like postponing this, I guess, and he was like, "That's not what Chris would want." Like, and he went on with it. So I tip my hat to him for that, man. Like that's a big thing to do, and pour one out for Mr. Farley.
Yeah, of course. What do you got, Story?
I love it. I think it's football fan, but it's a feel-good story. It's one of those underdog stories. It's corny, but it's hilarious. And the acting's okay in it. I mean, I think Kathy Bates and Henry Winkler kind of elevate this a little, especially Kathy
100%.
Bates.
Consummate professionals. And I will say...
Academy Award winner Kathy Bates.
I think the football scenes, although inaccurate, are actually pretty good.
They're
like
fun.
the tackling form is good. Like it's entertaining. I think it's good.
It takes me back to 90s football when you had big hits, and that was one of the things that drew me in as a kid was the monster hits, and you saw them in here, and then they hype them up with all the extra audio and Bobby Boucher and all his voice mannerisms when he's tackling and
the eye poke too, right? Confidence of Captain Insano. All right, I got a question for you guys. I don't know if I prepped you guys with this one, but there have been three kings of comedy in terms of at least my lifetime as well as yours in terms of being an adult. Jim Carrey, Will Ferrell, and Adam Sandler. If you had to choose to only keep one of the catalogs of all of these actors, who are you taking off first and who had the best run? It's tough because Jim Carrey had the shortest catalog.
If you say I'm taking off Jim Carrey, then you're going to piss off a lot of millennials, right? Because a lot of millennials grew up with him at that cable guy era, value programming, that kind of thing.
But him and Sandler were the same time,
but
essentially.
If you ask me, like the top of the top movies for these guys, I'm looking at old school Step Brothers,
Talladega
Nights, but Wedding Crashers.
Yeah,
I think the top of the top. There's a better catalog there, so I'm gonna keep Will Ferrell, and I'm gonna. God, I hate to say it, but I'm gonna kick off Jim Carrey.
You had to kick off Jim Carrey because Jim Carrey's run was literally like 94 to 2000. There really wasn't much else.
I mean, you are getting rid of Dumb and Dumber, right?
For that style, though.
So what's crazy is I mentioned this when we did some Jim Carrey. We did Dumb and Dumber in '94. Jim Carrey did Ace Ventura, The Mask, and Dumb and Dumber. Those are his three pinnacle movies. And then after that, you do have some good stuff: Batman Forever, Ace Ventura 2, Cable Guy, Truman Show, Me, Myself, and Irene, and that's really it.
Yeah.
I mean, and then post 2006, he did nothing.
So outside of telling you how old I am, In Living Color is one of my favorites.
They're both 42.
Jim Carrey in there, I have a hard time watching that, dude. I used to love that.
And the thing about Sandler is you also have to add in the Happy Madison stuff. Grandma's Boy, the movies that he actually wasn't in, which the universe of Adam Sandler is huge.
Yeah.
So I feel like Will Ferrell has better movies, more monumental movies, but Adam Sandler...
I mean, I look at my top 5 Adam Sandler movies, and I would put any of those. I would watch any one of those 4 over any given Jim Carrey movie, except for Dumb and Dumber. Dumb and Dumber would probably top all of them.
Right.
But then what? Then
The
what do
peak
you
of
have?
Jim Carrey was higher.
Yes,
But
the absolute peak.
we're
But
talking about the whole thing,
You look
right?
at the longevity and the duration.
So are you taking Sandler or Farrell? Who you eliminating?
That's tough.
Because I know you're a Sandler guy.
Carrey's not going to make my list. I'd like Sandler.
God, we're gonna get some.
But Step Brothers is your number one movie.
We're gonna get some hate comments
It is.
on this.
Step Brothers, hands down, one of my favorites.
I think I'm keeping Farrell as well.
I
It's
love
so
Farrell,
tough, man.
Like you said, if I take my top 5 Will Ferrell movies and I take my top 5 Adam Sandler, like if I could only watch either one the rest of my life, I'm gonna go Sandler.
Wow. Okay. So
Okay.
2 Farrells and a Sandler.
2 Farrells and a
I
Sandler.
like that. Okay. On that subject, give me your top 5.
5 to
Adam
1.
Sandler.
Are we going 5, 5, 5, 4?
No. We're gonna do
all
yours
5.
first,
Okay.
Nico.
All right.
Yep.
Again, I came on to the Adam Sandler scene with a cassette tape and his audio songs,
Yes.
right? Like, and so that type of humor is what resonates with me.
And he went to school on a dinosaur.
Yep, I'm sticking.
Even though I'm the same age.
Uphill, both ways in the snow. So I'm gonna date myself a little bit here, but my first one is I think it was his second movie.
This is 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
My number 5. I think it was Sandler's second movie in 1994, Airheads.
Ooh, I do like Airheads.
I love
Brendan
it.
Fraser.
And yeah, and it was just a hair above. I'm giveaway here. Billy Madison didn't crack my top 5.
What?
Nope, it didn't, man.
Okay,
It was
all right.
my
Give me
honorable
them deep
mention.
cuts then, okay.
And I can't leave it out. But Airheads was so rewatchable at such a young age for me. Like you said, Brendan Fraser and like Steve Buscemi.
Yeah.
And, just an overall
It's
cool
good.
film.
The plot of that movie is fucking crazy. They
It is.
kidnap a radio
It's like a radio
station
station,
to
yeah.
like, get their demo played, and like they all have long hair.
No, it's so goofy, dude. And I'm 12 years old when that movie
That's
came
a
out?
deep
Like,
cut because a lot of people don't realize it's like an Adam Sandler classic, right? It's
Yeah.
before
No.
all of his
No.
solo stuff. It's during his SNL stage, but it's not a household name.
No, and for me, like, I wanted to put it on there to raise awareness. Like, go watch an Adam Sandler movie you don't know about. Everybody knows Billy Madison.
Donate to the
right?
Adam
Yeah,
Sandler Fund.
We don't raise awareness for like actual shit. We're
For the
Adam
Adam
Sandler,
Sandler was worth
goofiest
$600 million, right?
We know California's on fire, right? Like, I don't need to raise
Fuck
awareness
that,
for
man.
Like,
We're talking about goddamn
we're
Adam
going
Sandler. All right, what's your 4, 3, 2, and 1?
Number 4, Bulletproof. Him and
Dwayne Wames. Yeah.
I watched that so many times again.
That's okay.
When I was in high school, I thought it was a fantastic movie. It resonated with me. I had a lot of quotable lines from that when I was in high school. And when you're in high school in the 90s, like, you repeated lines from movies. That's like all you had. Like,
Yeah.
you didn't have cell phones.
Right, there was
you
no
had,
like memes or TikTok.
instant
It was
anything.
just
No.
quotes,
Yeah.
man.
Like, you quoted movies. So that was my 4. 3 is That's My Boy. That one,
Wow.
I absolutely love that movie.
He's
man.
going deep.
That one's hilarious. That one kills me.
If I was a chick, my pussy'd be hurting.
That's
right
got
now
Andy
because you're
Samberg
going
in it.
deep.
Yeah.
Yeah, the massage scene.
Hint, hint.
And number 2 is Happy Gilmore. And I gave away my number 1 to start, which was Waterboy. So
Wow. Okay. Well, that's why we have him on this pod. What do you have, Story?
5 to 1. Number 5, Mr. Deeds.
Ah.
Yeah,
Good one.
it's a good one.
My
Yeah.
wife was mad it didn't make my top 5.
Number 4, The Longest Yard.
Yeah.
Burt Reynolds.
Remake, but
A
good,
remake,
yeah,
yeah.
okay.
Number 3, Billy Madison. Number 2, Happy Gilmore. And number 1, The Waterboy.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm gonna
1
seem
and
like
2.
a Grinch here because I don't have Waterboy on my list.
Wow.
I'm hosting
Okay.
the show. I do love Waterboy. I love Sandler. So number 5, Wedding Singer for me. I love Wedding Singer. His song, just the song alone makes it like. Just how happy it starts and then how angry he gets, and I hope you fucking die. Big Daddy number 4. You didn't have this on your list? Come on, man, Big Daddy.
Great.
That's funny.
That might be his peak because that was the peak of like right between the early ones and then the later ones. It was
Buscemi's hilarious.
most serious movie at the point, right? 'Cause
Yeah,
he was
and
playing
that's why it
serious.
wasn't very rewatchable for me. Like,
It's still
I knew
funny,
what
though.
happened, like, I don't
Okay,
know.
number 3, Uncut Gems.
I haven't seen it.
What?
I know, I haven't seen it.
Oh,
I knew this
please.
was going to come up. I knew this
Have
was
you
going to
seen
go
it?
up.
Yeah,
I haven't
it's
seen
a good movie, but I don't want to watch it
Dude.
again. I've watched
No,
it
it's
once, I know what happens,
very
and I'm out.
very tense.
Yeah.
It's anxiety in a bottle, but you're a big sports gambler.
Yeah.
Hustle's
Please
another-
watch
Hustle's another
Uncut
big one,
Gems.
too, for him.
Story, I'm telling you, never look at.
I know.
You won't even realize it's Adam Sandler playing the part. Besides a couple times where he has that voice
And then
thing.
tip my hat to him. Like, when did
amazing.
Will Ferrell play that serious?
No, and Jim Carrey
You know?
tried and he failed. This is amazing. Uncut Gems 3, Billy Madison 2, Happy Gilmore 1.
Okay.
Come on. Maybe I went chalk, but I didn't because apparently you'd never seen Uncut Gems.
No.
You neither had Big Daddy and Wedding Singer.
I mean, yeah,
they're both
Wedding
top 10.
Wedding Singer is a
I'll
little
give you that.
before when I kind of got into Adam Sandler. I
But
got
it's
in.
after Happy Gilmore and Billy Madison.
Is it?
Yeah, 100%.
Are you
He
sure?
seems older because it's supposed to be he's playing
Okay.
an 80s character.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
You know what I mean? And his hair and everything. I love that
We
movie.
just lived that, so we don't need to watch it.
All right, $23 million budget, $186 million in the box office.
I saw that. That's
So-
insane. As of 2020, it's the highest grossing film in the sports comedy genre.
Wow.
Wow.
I thought Blindside beat it.
Sports comedy genre.
Oh, sports comedy.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny.
I was just thinking
Sandra
football.
Bullock
Yeah.
with that accent.
Sandy B.
Kathy Bates was in Blindside too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I will say, I do think that I feel like Big Daddy was his most, money grab, right? He made the most money from Big Daddy, for sure. You guys didn't like that movie apparently, but
It's okay.
this was
It's
up there.
fine.
This
Yeah.
made more than all the other ones.
Big Daddy has?
No, this made
Oh,
more.
this
than
made
Happy-
more,
Happy
yeah.
Gilmore, Billy Madison.
That doesn't surprise me. I mean, I would say Adam Sandler is at his peak at this
Right.
movie.
This
Did,
or Wedding Singer or Big Daddy.
Yeah.
That's
Did
why
you
I
guys
think Big
hear
Daddy
why
was.
the box office got boosted for Waterboy by chance? So this totally off the wall, right? But Phantom Menace was coming out in a few months after this was released, and you got all these Star Wars nerds that are like, "This is the only way to see the preview."
The
for
trailer.
Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
The trailer is going to be before Waterboy.
No
they
way.
paid full price tickets, went in, watched the trailer, and they were like, "Deuces, Waterboy."
They really deuced
Is
it?
that is that a true story? Or is that an urban legend?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, if
The
you're,
internet
but
told
the
me
thing
so
is,
much.
Yeah.
True.
Well,
you're obviously a
anything on
movie
the internet
nerd.
you
You're
read is
obviously a
correct.
movie nerd if you're going to see a movie just for the trailer.
Yeah.
Stay for the movie. At least give it a shot.
Right.
And the beginning of this movie is epic.
Have you ever walked out of a movie? Have you ever walked out of a movie?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, I'm trying to
I
bang a
have to-
chick.
I walked out of one. I walked out of two movies. One was Moulin Rouge, which just abysmal of a movie, and the other was it was terrible. What are you talking?
was fine.
Absolutely horrendous. I was able to walk into the theater next door was playing The Two Towers, so I was able to walk in and watch the warg scene, and then I was able to come back. It was a bunch of other
You
people.
get your money.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to get to my dad's review. He can't call any. He lost his voice right now. He's sick. But he said 1 star. And he said he hates when Will Ferrell.
Wait, your dad?
Yeah, my dad's review.
Oh, so your dad and
Before
Roger Ebert are
Yes,
the
I
same
like my dad's
page.
reviews.
Yeah.
I just know he hates this movie, and he kind of dislikes Adam Sandler in general. Just the immature comedy, and he hates when, this is a quote from him, he hates when Will Ferrell, that's also why he hated Step Brothers, and Adam Sandler act like retards, which is kind of just what this movie is.
It's corny, and you try hard, and you just forget about life and laugh at it, man.
Right.
Like, that's it.
And my dad's not the most serious guy in the world, but I
Yeah.
think he just has he hates when people act like retards.
I guarantee if
Or
I asked
gays.
my dad
So
what the
does he hate
water
peanut butter falcon?
Your dad wouldn't like it either?
I guarantee he wouldn't know what it is.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, my dad does because of me. Roger Ebert, also 1 star. So my dad is apparently Roger Ebert.
Yeah.
So congratulations, Tim.
Same level.
His review is rough. He's like, I'm trying to like Adam Sandler, but he just talks about, like, I think he pretty much quotes he wants to kill himself watching this movie. It's bad.
Yeah, he said it's on his most hated list.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I saw that with Ebert. Mm-hmm.
It's
Rough,
bad.
rough.
But you have to know going in what it's going to be.
Yeah.
But-
You already saw Happy Gilmore and Billy Madison especially. I mean,
near $190 million on a what'd you say, $23 million budget?
Did well.
Too bad. And it's got an A- audience score. So
We'll take that.
critics be darned.
All right, best scene. I'm going to toss this over to you guys. Nico, you lead us off here. What are your best
Dude, I
scenes?
got so many best scenes, and it was hard to choose from. I think for me, man, if I'm kind of went in order of the movie, but it
Yeah,
was
go in order.
it was Colonel Sanders, man, telling him he was wrong and tackling him, and that I didn't see that coming.
Let's
right?
see what
Like,
Mama has to say.
And then
All right, what does Mama
the kicker
have to
trying
say
to hold his
about
hand
this?
down like, no.
you should have got kicked out of college at that point, like for.
Alligators are
So-
ornery because they have all them teeth and no toothbrush.
That's one of my favorite quotes.
The happiness comes from little rains of sunshine.
Yep.
Well, Mama's wrong again.
No, Colonel Sanders, you're wrong.
No, do you want me to give you a couple more of my favorite scenes?
Oh,
Or
yeah,
we
go through the list,
Okay.
man.
When he's teaching Bobby to tackle, right, and tells him to who's your favorite or who's your hero that you're gonna model yourself after, and it's Captain Insano, and he tells him, well, do what Captain Insano would do, and that's when he pokes him in the eye, compliments of Captain Insano.
Yeah.
Right?
That one has me rolling. What else was it? His first hit from Bobby on the quarterback, like when he cleans that first dude out, like it's
In practice or in the first game?
in the first game, like
Okay.
when you're setting the scene, right? Like you're setting the tempo for what Bobby's going to be. Just the big hits in general, I love. Their first win by safety, like you don't see that often. The one game was what 5-0. Like that was I don't know.
The scores were
I like
insane.
throwing it in
Baseball scores.
Oh yeah, dude.
And I love that.
The glacier water saves the day, right? Now that's some high quality H2O and brings him back from life. And I think the other one for me is the Bourbon Bowl second half, like as a whole,
Yeah.
right? Like that's like
The
the
whole
climax
football
of the movie.
scene.
Yeah. And that's the big one that I kind of hang my hat on. Like that's the part that's like gets you hypey, at least for
Yeah,
me.
does.
this movie's cut into a lot of shorter segments. So when you say scene, it's not like the opening scene of The Dark Knight where you've got an 8-minute segment, right? So these scenes are all,
Tidbits.
yeah, a little bit. So mine, Bobby imagines Mama on the field while the third string quarterback freaks out. It's like, I never said she was the devil. The halftime scene when Bobby shows up, they're all going through his escapades, and he shows up, they're all excited. The scene where Coach Klein tells Bobby that water sucks and then Gatorade is better because it just gets in his head and sticks. And then we were watching it earlier, but when Vicky Valancourt tells Lindsay the final score, and then the next scene where she's smiling at him while the final play's going on, and he looks terrified. Yeah. And then the final play where Bobby throws a touchdown and then becomes the MVP. Like you said, it's just, it all comes together there.
It makes you feel good. I had the first practice. I just love that, trying to teach him how to tackle and like kind of molesting him. And then you get the eye poke.
yeah.
Like amazing.
Hey, Casey, I think he wants to make out with you.
What does Captain Insano do when he wants to hurt his enemy? He just pokes him in the
one
eye.
of my favorites.
Also, the Captain Insano call when he says, "What are you, kid? 11, 12?" He's like, "I'm 31 years
Blessed
old."
to be his Waterboy,
He's
yep.
like, I guarantee that
Are
guy's
you
still
in
a
need of a
virgin.
hydration engineer?
I had that one written down too. I just didn't want to take all of them.
Right. I love the Sports Center clip of just talking about how amazing he's doing, and then just the Michigan, tossing in their towel boy and just getting destroyed.
Other teams just
Shout out
take the
basketball.
page
Like,
from
love
the team.
that. And then the Bourbon Bowl scene, everything about it. And then, in particular, everyone else taking Bobby's tackling fuel, right? Coach imagining Red with the dog and the baby. And then
Visualizing
the
it.
KKK with the kicker. Just like, what do you
Visualizing the
hate?
attack.
Just a clan member's head, and then he just kicks it, and the clan member's just screaming. Like,
Would have been good from 70.
I love it. I love that. What's aged the best?
Hold on real quick, though. I do feel like you are forgetting a scene that you loved, because we were just watching it. You watched it. You laughed out loud. We rewound it to catch something else, and you laughed at the same
Which
thing
one was
again.
it?
Farmer Fran with his nipples.
Oh, man. At the end,
Both
yeah.
times you were like, ah!
It's the best.
Like,
Farmer Fran in general. Although I have a good recast for him. What day is the best? I have a lot. I'm going to go through some of mine first. The Big Show making an appearance. Amazing. Medulla oblongata in general. Like, that's said so much, and none of us ever heard that before this, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's popular culture now. The soundtrack, man.
yeah,
Awesome.
big shout
That
out
Lenny
to the
Kravitz
soundtrack.
song.
Yep.
I've never heard that song. My mama said, dude, it's groovy. I love Lenny Kravitz, all of his jewelry and all. I love that guy. Hard hitting football. We touched on it.
Yep.
Give me the old school stuff. Henry Winkler, he's the best, man. It's just his role is he's so just depressed and just down, but then like
But he's also
hate him, I hate him.
he's so desperate to win that he does everything.
And it's
just
like
his intro scene though
it's
of
like the
like
opposite of what he
watching the
was.
film. He's the fun.
No,
He's
he
so
fakes.
confident.
He thinks about faking. He fakes faking.
Right. No, where am I at? This room's getting small.
Wasn't there 12 guys on the play too? When he
Was there?
out?
Probably. I'm talking about though when he's watching the first film when he walks in, he's like, and then we fumble and,
Oh, yeah.
and then we missed
He
two
has time to
tackles,
dust
and
it off
he
and
drops
run it.
the ball
Yeah.
and he's just so defeated.
Yeah.
Like
Did
the last one I have, this is great. Ride or Die Girlfriends. He's the best because Vicky Valancourt ride or die. Literally
she
ride or
really
die.
is.
just
Yeah.
shows up out of nowhere.
Opening
swoops
our
up his
scene we did
lawnmower.
with the knife,
Yeah.
like she's willing to kill someone.
Do you want me to kill them?
holding up the sign? Like she's just in. She's willing to deal with Bobby's mom.
Uh-huh.
Cooking alligator and
She went at
snake
her,
and
yep.
just hating her. She's a devil. You didn't know? What do you guys have for Age the Best?
Underdog sports movies, feel good sports movies, anything along those lines. Friday Night Lights, Remember the Titans, everything that makes you feel good. Those movies are eminently watchable. I'll throw them all the time. At the same point, characters that are underestimated, they're undervalued. They come through. They become triumphant. They inspire people around them. And then how funny this movie is. I think this really aged well. I know there's some parts that are kind of sketchy in terms of some things that probably aren't good anymore, and we'll get that.
We'll get
But just in general, and I know a lot of people don't care for this movie because of how corny it is, but I think this movie is hilarious, laugh out loud funny.
Yeah, it does. It cracks.
And
me
you're
up.
super mature, so if you think it's funny, then everyone should.
Come
Come on.
I am very mature
Except for your haircut.
for
and
my
your
age.
taste.
Yeah.
And
Sorry.
it's not, for me, not just like the underdog feel-good movie. It's like Bobby's personal triumphs, right? Like, this dude's been sheltered in the swamp for 30 years with his mom.
I don't even know his mom's name.
On this, yeah,
Right?
on
Helen.
the same
Who's
team
Helen?
As a
That's my
water boy
name,
for
man.
however, 20 years he's been a water boy, whatever it was, for the same team, has done nothing, has no life experience.
18 years of water.
Now, like, he's going to college, he's going
Right.
to get married.
Could have had a threesome with those two hot chicks.
Yep. He's like, slap
Could've.
hands. Like, all he wants is to be friends.
Right.
Dude. Like, have friends.
Not knowing your mom's maiden name is understandable, but her first name? I'm saying maiden name, some of us maybe won't know that. It doesn't come up, but like first name?
I mean, that's a security question on a lot of things.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
You got any other Age the Best?
Oh yeah, specifically the scene where Bobby gets the interception and he's mad because number 62 said he was going to be playing with his mama later in the night, and he gets the interception. 62 throws it back to him just so he can hurt him, just because he's mad at
A
him.
drop
right?
kick,
and
right?
it ends up in like a flying double leg kick. Blows
Something
the
out of
game,
Mortal Kombat.
and like that kind of
Right.
sucks, but.
I love my mama very
Yep.
much.
Yep.
Just so you know.
That's exactly it. And then that one, like, when I rewatched
Now you know
it
that.
recently, that hit. And then all the ESPN coverage and Dan Patrick and, like, we're going to make this a real thing.
You're right. The
Like,
cameos are great. Lynn Swan,
like, turning on ESPN.
Lawrence Taylor.
Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jimmy and Cower. In the
Yeah,
same
yeah,
things.
yeah. You gonna eat that hot dog?
So I loved it.
No,
even,
not.
Even number 62 was linebacker in college for Florida Gators.
Oh, no kidding.
Look at this.
Yeah.
Oh, love it. All right, what's age the worst? Going half retard I have here.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, not full retard, because you never go full retard. We
No,
learned that from,
everyone knows
what movie is that?
Tropic Thunder.
Okay.
I love it.
This one is weird because Chris Farley was already
Forrest
dead.
Gump.
But not having Chris Farley be in this movie, which he couldn't have been, but I don't know if he was even cast to be in this movie, so that's why I have it in here, because he said he died a month before. Apparently he has no plans to be in this movie. There's many spots I can have, and both his brothers are in this movie. Right? Captain Insano interview with his brother, and then the one, I don't know if it's at the pep rally, like his other brother's in the movie who has no acting credits at all.
Oh.
Okay.
So, like, why are both of Farley's brothers in this movie and Farley wasn't?
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah, who knows what they had planned for him.
Yeah.
And I think we would have known if he had been planned for the movie, because it would have been a thing.
Yeah.
And it would have been
You'd think.
amazing.
You'd think it
So
would be.
that's all I had for Age the Worst. What do you guys have?
Hazing or bullying in college sports, right? I think the Northwestern football hazing scandal kind of brought all that stuff to light. So all the bullying that Bobby goes through for presumably decades, and then immediately after he's proven himself on the field, even though he cost him the game, he's kind of shunned. And then cheating for NCAA football players. I mean, that's all come to light recently as well.
Fake transcript and stuff.
Maurice Colorette, baby.
Yeah, yeah.
Remember that fucking chase he was in?
Oh, man.
It was a chase with guns.
Yeah.
For me, it was like a few very specific things that, like, just in society today aren't accepted, and
like alcoholism for the cheerleaders.
No, that's okay. People don't mind that. Yeah.
Drink till you're
As long
passed
as
out
they're
drunk in the middle of the day.
21.
Yeah.
In the very beginning, in the suggestion box, eat shit and kill yourself, right? Like,
yeah.
we should be more sensitive about suicide, not tell people to do that. His own teammate was like, the retard's about to find out what football is really about, is what number 51 says, like, in their first
Even though
practice.
he's, like, pretty much retarded.
And, yeah. And
Doesn't he say you're the only one of us who could have passed that test?
He does.
Right.
But just calling someone a retard like this day and age, like, it's just not a word that's typically accepted or used all that often. Right,
I still do it, but I'm
yeah.
also a moron. So
Well, a lot of people are like, well, it is what it is, but
we say they call him a faggot.
And same thing with Meanie at the end. He's like, "Oh, we ended up in Retardville, USA."
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, he does say that, doesn't he?
He should have just said Sticksville, right?
Yeah, anything.
Sticksville sounds good
Yeah.
because it is Sticksville.
Yeah, or Hicksville, USA.
Yeah, there you go.
Because that's still apparently. Anyway.
And then, like, for me, like, just from like a sanitary, like, hospital environment, how the fuck do you get a donkey in a hospital room?
I really want to know that too.
That doesn't age well with me. All that garbage.
Why do you have a
in there,
donkey in your
that's not
house?
healthy.
I think so. One of the things that aged worse for me was Sports Center because that doesn't exist anymore.
It's not a thing anymore, or no
No.
one watches it. It's real. I stopped
mean,
watching
is
it
it?
10 years ago. I don't know.
Is Chris Van Pelt's program Sports Center?
Yeah, it's still there.
Okay,
It's
all right.
still there.
But you remember that when you like young,
It was the thing, dude.
right?
We
That
all watched it all
but
the time. It was always
ESPN,
on.
ESPN is a shell of its former self.
ESPN is going the way of MTV.
I was gonna say MTV. I thought
You know what I'm
the exact
saying?
same thing
MTV
just
used to be
now,
music
yeah.
television. Now, like, they still have sports programming, but it's not informative.
There's
like
no
it used to
actual
be.
sports. It's people talking about sports.
Exactly.
Right, it's like hot take
There's
stuff.
no actual
Kind of like
music.
what you're watching right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Right. So you remember those Dan Patrick segments? Those puns? That was a nightly occurrence, right? We don't get that anymore.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, internet research. This one's great. Do you know how old Kathy Bates was when she shot this film?
I'm going to say 52.
You?
I have no idea.
What's your guess? Bobby's mom?
46.
39.
And he
No
was 31,
way.
32.
40
That
when it came
cannot be
out,
accurate.
Yeah.
Are you
She's only
serious?
74, dude.
Wow.
Yeah. Trust me, I looked it up
Okay.
twice.
All right. I'll believe you.
39 during. I'm guessing during filming because I don't think they filmed it and released it in 3 months.
Do you guys know
Let's just
why-
say 40.
Do you
40.
know why Kathy took that role, though? Did you hear about that?
I did. I saw the Conan clip.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Family stuff.
Yeah.
or-
Yeah, apparently she wasn't going to do it. She's a very serious professional actress.
Academy
Yeah,
Award
she
winner,
took
Kathy
this role
Bates.
pretty serious too. Let's be
And
honest.
her niece was a huge Adam Sandler fan and was like, Aunt Kathy, you got to take this. You got to take this. I love Adam Sandler. And she's like, I guess I'll do something goofy. We'll see what happens.
Well, so Kathy got the script. She read the first 10 pages. She thought it was stupid.
Yeah.
She threw it away. Her niece found it in the trash, and she's like, oh, this is Adam Sandler. She has to do it. Kathy Bates is like, who's Adam Sandler? She told this on the Conan show. It's a great
Wow,
clip,
I didn't
yeah.
see that. I love it.
Last one. This is kind of a serious one, a weird one. Vicky Valancourt, her upside down blue triangle tattoo.
Had that.
So that actually symbolizes water, and it's a real tattoo she had.
Oh,
Like
wait,
the-
that Veruza ball cast?
Yeah.
Huh,
Yeah.
how about that?
And she had it in
The
real life.
alchemical,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
and then
symbol of,
Wiccan
water.
symbol, too.
But also,
That makes sense for the
apparently,
character.
it symbolizes something to do with the Holocaust in Germany, and she's Jewish.
That took
I didn't
a
know
left
that
turn.
in
Okay.
a bad, in terms of a good way, where she
Yeah.
was against it, right?
Right.
But like,
Yeah, she wasn't not. Although with her character in most of these movies,
her in the craft and her being called a witch and whatever else. and
American
this is
History
the-
X.
this is the
She
Wiccan-
loves
the
that.
Wiccan symbol for water.
hey, how about
Like,
that though? Her playing that character in American History X, being super anti-Nazi.
Oh, yeah.
She
Interesting.
plays the craziest Nazi ever.
Yeah.
She says the N-word a bunch of times.
I mean, not as
Not
crazy
just
as
saying
Ethan
the
Suplee.
N-word. She says it with like literal disdain.
Yeah, she doesn't
right?
like him.
Dude, I think she's good. I think she's good.
American History X? When are we doing that?
No, we're doing it soon. I
Good.
think she's good in general.
she's-
This role, like,
she's-
she's a one-note actress. I'll give her that. Trashy. I guess that's the word.
I mean,
trashy.
but that's the entire point. She's a felonious, like, trash.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So I read that originally this movie was set in New England during the 1950s and was supposed to be filmed in black and white.
Yeah.
How different would that have been if they
Yeah,
had done
right.
that? And then co-writer of this, Tim Herlihy, he's done a bunch of stuff, but he was Adam Sandler's roommate at NYU. So Sandler brought Herlihy. He was a securities and exchange lawyer. He brought him with him as a writer on SNL when Sandler became a cast member, and that's what caused him to take off in the comedy genre.
Yep, that was awesome. I read about that. One of the other ones for me, I told you guys, is his name's James Bates Jr., number 62, real football player from the Gators. This was Jerry Reed's last acting role, which kind of surprised
Oh.
me.
Was Jerry Reed?
Did he
Coach
retire or
Red?
did he pass away?
Is that Red?
That's Red Value.
Okay.
Yeah, so Smokey and the Bandit, right, is the most famous movie that he's known for, and it was his last one, and then Henry Winkler accredited Adam Sandler for like rejuvenating his career because he was just the Fonz and
Right.
didn't have much since that, and he played this role and went on to have more roles and get more opportunities, and he kind of felt that was like, hey, thanks Sandler for doing that for me.
Yeah.
Do you guys like him in this movie?
I do.
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
You think he could do better with that role, or you think he was perfect?
I think he played it so soft, man, and so perfect. But
Yeah.
we'll
Things
see.
are
That's
gonna get
interesting
awfully
because
physical.
I would say that Winkler had a second half career renaissance, right?
Scream.
A little
It's great.
bit.
Scream.
Oh yeah, he's in Scream. He's the principal.
He
Yeah.
was Adam Sandler's dad in Click as well.
Oh yeah.
Wow. They got
He's done a
nice
couple
role.
of things
Yeah.
with him. Yeah.
Do you got anything else?
I got a bunch of else if you
What
want.
do you got? Let's go.
This was I'm gonna quiz you guys here. We're gonna do a little Adam Sandler movie quiz.
Okay.
So this was the third movie where Adam Sandler's character's love interest had the initials VV. So in this it was Vicky Valancourt, right?
Yes, Veronica Vaughn.
And yep, there's the second one. Who's the third one?
It's got to be Happy Gilmore. What the heck's her name?
Yep. You got it.
Yeah.
But what's
It's
funny?
it's.
I always thought
What
that-
is it? What
I
is
always
it?
thought
No, no,
the
no.
last name was Bennett. Like until
Oh, Bennett.
until I found this, I didn't know.
It's what is it? God damn it.
Virginia.
Virginia
Bennett.
Virginia Bennett. And then
Yeah,
Vicky
VV.
Valancourt in real life, VV, right?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I thought that was
It's weird.
kind of interesting. Do you know, during an interview with ESPN, LeVar Arrington told everyone in the interview that Adam Sandler came to Penn State to watch him practice in order to like get ready for this film. So
Wow.
he modeled his linebacker play after LeVar
LeVar was a
Arrington.
stud, man.
How about that, man?
College at Linebacker University, right? I mean,
He was
Penn
a
State's
stud.
got so many linebackers coming out. So that was
Also,
kinda cool,
Child Diddling University,
big
but I have to
hits.
bring that up. But I mean, I just did. So
Yeah.
shit. Shout out Jerry Sandusky, you fucking prick.
Yeah,
Hate
he's dead.
pedophiles.
So
He died?
isn't he?
Thank fucking God.
I think he's
so.
dead, right?
I hope so.
I think so.
Burn in hell, you fucking faggot.
And then you brought up the medulla oblongata, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't actually control anger.
No,
Like
it's made up.
animals.
It's just a funny name,
It was
word.
inaccurate.
No, no, he's still alive.
It
Damn
controls
it.
the respiratory drive.
Let's just all hope that
It's all.
Sandusky
It's
dies
all.
in the next year.
It's all connected?
It's all part of the parasympathetic nervous system, right? The medulla oblongata. So heart rate, breathing, all that kind of stuff.
Respiratory
Yeah.
is what I found out.
Big word from Story.
I
Okay.
could pass the Louisiana State High School
you
equivalency
could.
exam.
Right?
Well, you're the only one besides Bobby.
Yeah.
Recasting couch. I'm gonna toss it over to my man Story, who does this shit very
Good.
well. What do you got?
I got modern recasting. This is how I do it today. So for Bobby Boucher, I'm gonna go Andy Samberg. So yeah. That's my boy. Yep. For Mama, I'm gonna go with Sandra Bullock, Sandy B. She did a Southern accent in The Blind Side. I think she could do this
Yeah.
too. Coach Klein, little reserved.
Although, hold on real quick. Apparently, Mama Boucher has to be 39 years old.
Well,
Just saying.
Sandy B's like 60,
Right?
isn't she?
Yeah, well, she looks like she's 39.
I know.
Sorry.
Coach Klein, I'm going with Owen Wilson. Vicky Valancourt, I'm gonna go with Chloe Grace Moretz.
I don't know who that is.
The audience will know who Chloe. Yeah.
I don't know who that is. Who is
Give me a
it?
movie.
She was done. She's done some Nolan or some Snyder stuff. So she was in what the hell's the name of that movie? Yeah,
Play with a yo-yo over here?
yeah,
He's a fidget spinner.
I'm going to put a picture up, maybe. I don't know. I
yeah.
don't
Chloe
know
Grace
about that.
Moretz.
I'll look it up later. Sorry.
Red Bayou. I'm gonna go with Joaquin Phoenix. Derek, he's the kicker. John Boyega. Farmer Fran, Dustin Hoffman. I think he'd be hilarious in that. QB, Gee. I'm gonna go with Glenn Powell. He's got that smugness to him, right?
Yeah, smug.
And then Colonel Sanders / the Professor. I'd love to see Matthew McConaughey get absolutely
hot.
trucked.
That's funny. I have a hard
love
time
that.
with not being a fat dude for some reason.
Well, he'd
But-
gain weight
but-
for it.
Yeah, right.
Nick, what do you have?
I recast at the time is how I recast
Yeah.
it. Like, so who else would have potentially played in this movie in the late 90s? We're going to start out big here with Bobby Boucher himself, and I would have put Jim Carrey in that role. Very
Okay.
unassuming physically, but just brings a huge amount of energy where like you can see him kind of flip that switch. And that one, I think, would have cracked me up. Like, I think of Ace Ventura, right? And the energy that he has in there, and the mask and whatever.
Well, very physical comedy.
Yeah, so I feel like it could have worked. Coach Klein, I would have put Michael Keaton in there.
Yeah, that's a good one.
For Coach Klein.
Wow,
Yeah.
okay.
And his rival over there, Coach Red, would have been Jack Nicholson.
Ooh.
That's
I
good.
feel like that
I
would
like
have
that
fit.
one a lot.
Got yourself some.
I actually thought of that.
A few good men.
I have another one, but I thought of that one too.
Okay, I like it.
Crazy,
I like it.
crazy Nicholson, right? Like Departed
Yeah, exactly.
level. Like
Oh, I'm thinking more along the lines of A Few
anger
Good Men.
management.
I thought like Bill Murray too, like the crazy hair, like.
I think Bill Murray's the one,
Yeah.
right?
I thought about that.
Bill
too.
Murray from Kingpin. That.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
that's
now
the
you're
one.
talking,
That's the
yeah.
one.
That's
Okay.
where I was at with that too. My Vicky, I don't know, man. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I would have put Jennifer Love Hewitt in there.
Jennifer Love, huge tits.
I would exactly. And then,
But she couldn't pull off that tank top with no bra because her tits would just
but
be
it
like,
would have been
overwhelming the scene.
fantastic, I think. Like, I don't know.
But
I
if you
just- I
want
just signed
more
up for it.
reason for Mama to hate her,
Yes.
her tits hanging out.
Yes.
Okay, good
I'm
call.
in, dude.
Good
I'm
call.
in.
Another
I'm
reason
in.
to hate.
And
Yeah.
my Addis scene has
Because
something to do with that, too.
when he says, Vicky showed me her tits and I had boobies and I love them too.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe that he'd like those tits because they're like A cups that aren't great.
They're
Some
fine,
dudes,
like,
some
sure.
dudes like that.
I get that, but you're
But-
really gonna love Jennifer Love huge tits.
Like,
true.
what's popular? Big boobs, typically.
And they're
Like,
huge.
So I'm going to go with her.
Yeah,
Right? She's
I
got
like
the
that.
dark
Good
hair.
call.
I feel like she
Good
can
call.
maybe pull it off. I don't know.
Is she dark enough? We'll see.
You'll
But
see,
I like
you'll
that.
see my Addis scene brings a little extra to that.
Ah.
For Mama, I'm going to put Susan Sarandon in there.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Good.
mix it up a little bit. Still a solid actress that has a good history. Gonna pull off a good serious role.
Redheads are crazy.
She's gonna do a good job. Yep.
Freaky too.
Meanie, number 72, right?
Yeah.
On, the Cougars. I'm putting Brian Bosworth in there.
Okay, I couldn't figure out a meanie, so I like that one.
Call back, baby.
Yeah, that's
you don't
what
need to
I'm
act
saying.
much. You just sound like a choo-choo train.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Sounds like a big
He
choo-choo train.
wasn't any older than Meanie in this thing.
No,
no.
He was
Beautiful.
my
I
age.
thought
Beautiful.
I wanted
See,
to.
this is
I wanted to do
Nico.
Terry Crews, but Terry Crews is too old for my
And he's
casting.
black.
Yeah. I wanted
We gotta
to
keep
matter.
the race the same, okay?
I wanted to work Howie Long in somewhere.
Just because I put John
Ooh.
Boyega as the kicker doesn't mean I'm strictly by the book.
I always recast a black man for a black man.
I thought about Joe Montana as calling the place, like up in the broadcast broadcast booth or something because of the whole Montana.
I said Joe
Montana joke.
Montana.
Yeah. So like put Joe Montana in the movie.
Yeah.
Like Joe Montana is a better option than Joe
And
Montana.
then like you can have him up there like looking.
No, he should be the one that he sells the hot dog from.
Yeah,
Right? Where he's like, that's Joe Montana.
Yep. Number 51 on the Mud Dogs, the cross-eyed guy.
Yeah,
right? I don't remember his name. I'm putting John Favreau in that role.
Oh,
and I think he would kill
He's
that
such
role,
a
man. I think it'd
dick.
be so fun. Yeah.
And I love you, man.
So
He's
fun.
such a dick.
And my very last recast, and I just, like, I mentally, like, I can picture this dude in the overalls, and I don't know, it works for me, is James Earl Jones.
Farmer Fran?
As Farmer
Yep,
Fran?
Farmer
Did
Fran.
you have Farmer Fran or no?
I did. I had.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that one. Sorry.
That's all right.
I want the big
I
belly
couldn't-
in,
yeah.
in the overalls.
Well, he's just too skinny. All right, I had the best Farmer Fran. It's maybe cheating, but okay. I have for Derek the kicker, Chris Rock.
Mm-hmm.
I'm keeping this straight SNL in terms of like who he should have had for
Well,
his guys.
also The Longest Yard.
Is that right?
Chris Rock's in it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm keeping it there. Chris Farley, I want for Farmer Fran.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right?
And it probably
It's
was
more,
supposed to be him.
more
Like,
no, it was. And I'm thinking Billy Madison, school bus driver. That character,
Exactly.
just the energy he brings, and the scene where like, well, Farmer Fran's watching the team. I hope they're doing okay.
We should just cast Ed
just-
Orgeron.
And then the nipple thing that I love. Like, dude, I'm saying all these things.
all
Like,
Farley.
and I do love Farmer Fran in this movie. I love it.
Yeah.
The gibberish is weird. I don't necessarily laugh at that a lot. Chris Farley's yelling, I would laugh at because he would be like that crazy coach at a shitty Division III program that hasn't won a game in 42 fucking weeks, but he's just screaming. I love that. David Spade as the quarterback because he's not a very athletic guy already. He's small. David Spade's small. Keeping it SNL. I love this one. Kurtwood Smith. That is Red.
Yeah, that's
70s
from-
show.
yeah.
I want him as Coach Red.
It makes sense.
Yeah, that's a good
can
one.
see it.
I was
That-
thinking of Nicholson, but I like him. I think he's just a perfect
Have red,
dick.
red. I like it.
Right. And then I don't have a cast for this guy, Jake Busey. I just want him somewhere in this movie. Jake Busey's Gary
Yeah,
Busey's
it's
son.
Gary Busey's son.
He's just amazing. I just feel like he just fits in this movie
Yeah.
in so many ways. I would say maybe Meanie, but he's not big enough.
He's in Starship Troopers.
Right? I'd love Jake Busey.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
He's hilarious in that movie.
Weak link of the film. I have the cross-eyed linebacker, whatever his name is. That dude. I just don't think he's very funny. The joke gets old after it's old before he even does it.
I went with Peter Dante. Guy, the quarterback.
Yeah.
There's just not much. It's the same. Yeah.
water.
And he's also he also after the first game they win, everybody kind of embraces Bobby, and he's not even at. You don't even see him at the party, do you?
The fact that he's pissed even when he gives the game away. The point is that he
Was the only
had
reason.
16 sacks in that game,
point.
and they
Like I said,
lost
what's your
because he
offense?
gave it away. They lose that game by 30 points if it wasn't
Yeah.
for Bobby, and he doesn't. He's a quarterback,
Yeah.
leader. Realize your team. What do you got for weak link, Nico?
Apparently nothing. I don't see it on my paper.
Okay.
Okay.
Cross-eyed linebacker it is. Nitpicks. Only have a couple. When Coach Klein talks about the tattoo, he says, when I was your age, my mama told me not to get a tattoo of Roy Orbison. And then what mama doesn't know doesn't hurt her. Bobby's 31. So his mama at 31 told him not to get a tattoo.
I'm not following
Coach
you here.
Klein says when I was
Oh,
your age.
when
So his mom is telling him not to get a tattoo at 31.
Or do you think he might be just
Thinking
kind of
Bobby was like 20.
no,
Yeah, was
just kind of
young.
identifying with
Yeah.
him and saying,
Right.
yeah,
You get what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
Bobby says he's 31.
Yeah.
He is 31, and like that's just strange to me. Meanie looks like he's 45.
yes, he
So,
does.
He
And
probably
then
is
the
45.
quarterback for Red's team looks like he's 40. I mean, a literal 45.
Yeah, like an old like
The guy's got
50s actor.
that's 5 o'clock shadow.
He
That's
absolutely does.
And like Bobby is 31, but there's a reason he's 31 because he's a
Right.
water boy and he's learning
Right.
disabled. Kick the field goal with 7 seconds left. Your linebacker has never thrown a pass. And like the kicker has the KKK.
but they wouldn't be expecting it.
But your kicker has the KKK cheat code of like channeling his anger, and he just kicked like a 61-yarder. That would have been good from 70. We all said it.
We didn't
Kick
say
the
it.
field goal, and that Red's team is not scoring.
Yeah.
You have Bobby tie the game, go
that's
to
a good point. I
overtime.
didn't think about
You
that.
win. You have the kicker that's hot.
Yep. I like it.
How were they late to the Bourbon Bowl? Like she wakes up late and then does the whole thing with like the scrapbook.
Yeah.
Like the Bourbon Bowl probably starts at 3. I get that it's probably not in their hometown. It's probably in Baton Rouge or
New Orleans.
New Orleans. But like, I don't know. I feel like they would probably be able to get there on time. They wasted a lot of time there. It's for the story, right?
Yeah, it's dramatic purposes.
When
but
Bobby comes in and wins at halftime, I get that. And then the chicks at the party are way hotter than Vicky Valancourt. And have
But she's his childhood crush.
I get it. I just said have a threesome, Bobby.
And she's got a tattoo that stands for water.
Just he doesn't know that. He's an idiot. Just have a threesome, Bobby. All right, live it up. You're a Division III college.
I've been with guys and girls.
Yeah, just do it, Bobby. That's all I'm saying. He should do it, and he's just a good guy.
So they're not. They can't be Division III because they've got bowl games, right?
Well, they're the worst Division I program.
They've got to be
and
Division I because they have,
even more to my points.
Yeah.
Just go with those two.
So
38-year-old girls.
A few nitpicks here. There's no way the NCAA would let Bobby play in the Bourbon Bowl after finding out someone submitted a fake transcript for him. And even though it's the 90s, players getting knocked out on the field would likely rule them out for at least a little bit. You can't just throw smelling salts under somebody's nose and expect them to be back in the game. Although we should do smelling salts. See how that goes.
Let's do it.
Yeah. I think
I'll break it up and snort it.
Yeah.
See how that happens.
Have you ever smelled those things?
It's just ammonia, right?
I'm not putting it in my nose.
You're supposed to. Oh, you're not. He can't snort it, but
snorting it.
I think Red Bellew would have been exposed as a fraud after just one season when he's only got one playbook. Yeah, over and over again.
And they're undefeated.
Yeah, and I think everybody should have been able to figure out that Mama was faking in the hospital. I'm pretty sure at one point Vicky sees Mama with her eyes open.
She did. I don't have too many other nitpicks. You guys hit on most of them. The one we were, like I said, we were watching it right before, where the quarterback catches the ball at the end, right? He's like, should be falling on his left, and then like they pan to the other side of the end.
Continuity.
Like, there's some little things like that, but I didn't have too many other nitpicks.
Because you love this movie too much. You don't want to hear this. You're like hating us. You're like,
right?
Don't poke holes. Okay, best quotes. My favorite one, I think, that's most just random and like just backhanded is Ben Franklin as a devil. Like, I get like girls can be the devil, but like
so out of nowhere.
Ben Franklin.
I invented electricity.
Yeah, like, what did Ben Franklin do, man?
Care?
Like he flew a kite and like
just say I
he was
don't know.
the devil. Yeah. I see a lot of girls. I see a lot of guys too. He's like, just the other day I was with Coach Klein and Vicky Valancourt. And the one girl just like walks away. That girl's like into it.
Yeah, you are a freaky.
You're with your mom, like, and then the last one is Captain Insano shows no mercy.
Yep.
And you mentioned it during the first line when he's trying to teach him how to shackle. Hey Casey, I think he wants to make out with you just out of nowhere. And the classic. Remember when Bobby Boucher showed up at halftime and the Mud Dogs win the Bourbon Bowl? Do you? The way so when they're sitting at the barbecue and Mama says, Bobby, they ever catch that gorilla that done escape from the zoo and punch you in the eye? And he's just like, no, Mama, the search continues. The way he says search continues, it just gets me. And say the scene with Coach Klein when he's at dinner. Great. And what do we have in dessert? Zap, squirrel. And you could do it, cut his effing head off, and which brings me at the Lawrence Taylor one, which brings me to my next point. Don't smoke crack.
Yep.
I had to explain this to Erica who Lawrence Taylor was and why it's funny because he was a crackhead.
Yeah, he was.
And one of the best players of all time, but like he is a crackhead.
Yeah.
And just his explaining, the guy gets the ball to the running back, in which case I tackled the running back.
Then I go tackle him.
So I had a couple of those on my list for some of my favorite quotes. The other one I like is the first practice, right, where the quarterback runs in and watch where you're going, Needle Dick, and then like he sees the whole team chanting Needle Dick, like it's just a phrase like nobody uses. It's totally gone. Like if you weren't in the '90s, like you didn't call anyone that. Like
I forgot water sucks too.
And then I had that one.
Water sucks.
It really
H2O.
Not only does Gatorade taste better, it quenches your thirst better.
The idiots in the crowd with best tackler I've seen since Joe Montana. He's like, Joe Montana was a quarterback. I said Joe Montana.
I bet you $50 he throws a touchdown pass in this play.
That one's quoted a ton.
You owe me $50.
Shit, you guys got all of mine. One kind of flies under the radar. I don't know which broadcaster it was that says it, but he's like, Bobby Boucher knocked the poop out of him. And like,
poop?
He's like, poop. And like, you just don't expect it in the movie, like, knock the poop out.
It's so weird. That's so out of place.
It is, and I love it.
All right, heat check. Award for the bench player that comes in hot. I got a couple nominees for you. Farmer Fran. Again, the scene where he's watching the team and he's just riding that girl and screaming. The nipple thing. I love Farmer Fran. Vicky Valancourt. I don't know if she's in too much of the movie. She might be. But the knife holding, the sign saying you want me to kill them. The Hick fan, Joe Montana quote that we just talked about. He's also the speech where he's, I'm not a handsome man. I'm not blessed. Like, he's just so great.
Yeah.
And then the professor, just a couple times you see him, he gets trampled at the end.
I love when he gets hit. I don't know what he throws out the window. A baseball, a rock, whatever it is. Like, he throws it out the window in anger, and the professor's just like walking by.
Then he's got the bandage around his head for the rest of the movie.
That's a callback to the Mr. Lady from
I think I killed the Mr.
Happy Gilmore, right? Like, she's just always getting fucked up and like, Mr.
It's almost like a Family Guy level joke too.
Yeah,
Like they stole
it keeps on going, right? What do you guys have for E-Check? You have anything else to add?
I don't know. Derek might be in the movie too much. He's the kicker, right? So, but he's the only one besides Coach Klein that even gives Bobby the time of day or a chance in the start.
Right out of the gate, shared his helmet with
Let me know when it's cold, babe.
Yeah.
Yep. I like that part. I don't think I had much else though for E-Check.
Who are you voting for? You think it's Farmer Fran? I mean,
it's probably Farmer
Fran. Pretty
Fran,
crazy. Like, whether you like it or hate it, like it's
out there.
He's really going for it, and it's not great, but
he's all in.
Yeah, you don't understand what he's saying. Overacting award. I didn't have anyone for this.
I put everyone ? I mean, that's kind
nobody.
of or nobody because it's kind of the point of the movie.
For me, like, it's tough because this person won 2 awards and they're polar opposites for me. And it was Kathy Bates in the beginning, like, for overacting. Like, just everything's over the top. Like, this is the devil and this is the devil. Like, when Ben Franklin's the devil, there's like storms thundering in the background and it's black and white and she's like cowering over him, and then like the brain pain, like just exaggerating all of that and going to the hospital.
What is she talking about? We're talking about like not astrology, but it's
astronomy.
So Vicky. So
one of the many tools of the devil.
Bobby says that Vicky is into astrology. And Mama says, I don't believe in astronomy. It's one of the many tools of the devil. Yeah.
Everything's a devil. And like, so when he finishes his sentence too, is a devil? You think the devil to you, Mama?
That was my
Look at who's on TV, Mama. The devil.
What would you say, Jackson? Saw the devil. One Oscar to give. I have Henry Winkler.
I do too. Number 1, Henry Winkler, and number 2, Kathy Bates.
See, I gave mine to Kathy Bates. After I said she overacted, she bought into that role so hard. It wasn't
the dancing in the background.
Oh my God, I love it so much.
It's just her character arc of just like, foosball isn't the devil.
She's done nothing like that before, but now when she's in the hospital and she's like going through the picture book with Bobby, it's like the most serious person you saw in this whole movie. Like actual good acting and very serious. Like at that part. So.
He deserted us, baby.
That's my name.
Oh my God! All right, scene we would add. I had a couple. I want more Sports Center scenes because those are the best. I want a couple more games after the first one of like not complete games, but also some of the stories. You know, I like when the movies show don't tell. They tell us about the time where he ran bare ass after the interception and he threw the guy into the crowd. Like, can we just see those?
Make your montage a little longer, right?
And then you have 2 other things that bring up before he says when Bobby came and won the Bourbon Bowl. The bare ass thing, I just want to see. Like, come on, do you want to see Adam Sandler's ass
He'd have to be
running?
penguin
Like, yeah, he would.
Come all the way off.
He would. He'd figure it out.
He'd penguin all the way to the
Bobby
end zone.
Boucher, right?
I'm with you. I want to see more games. I want to see more conflicts, more roadblocks that get put up. Like they're in a tough situation and Bobby gets them out of it. I want to see more than, I don't know, there might be 2 or 3 games in that montage. I think you could stretch that out and truncate the second half of the movie, which I think goes on for a little too long, and we get more action there. I also want to see a flashback scene to the Eskimo medicine man blessing the water from the glacier.
I like it.
I think that'd be pretty funny.
I didn't think about that one. Mine was, I want him to show Vicky's boobies.
With Jennifer Love Hughes tits, though.
Exactly.
That's the thing.
Just cut to
actually want to see.
Just cut to a body
like
double.
When she opens up, like, you know.
Like, how hilarious would it be if they were just like the biggest, most perfect, like, and then
right,
because you Fairuza Balk. No offense to Fairuza Balk.
And then the other like cutaway that I want to go to is I want an escaped gorilla running around somewhere in Louisiana. Like I want like zookeepers chasing the gorilla, like something totally not related to them, but like Bobby's story of.
What do you think the reward is?
I think that's pretty funny. It's so out of left field. Like he made this up, and yet there's still a gorilla running around.
What do you think the reward is? Because it doesn't say reward like $2,000. It says
it just says reward. Yeah.
It just says reward.
Doesn't say anything.
Okay. Yeah, that's the key. Okay, a relevant actor. I have Clint Howard.
Yeah, I think we all have Clint Howard. Right?
Have you looked at his IMDb?
It's pretty impressive.
Dude, he started acting at 63. It's Ron Howard's brother.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Apollo 13. He was in that.
Yeah, he's Ron Howard's brother.
Yeah, I know.
He has like 160 movies he's in, but he's never ever been the main character. ever, and I didn't know his name. You didn't know it was Ron Howard's brother.
I did know that.
Maybe I misunderstood the assignment, but my Mr. Irrelevant was Rob Schneider in his very first ever Adam Sandler movie. Like, he wasn't relevant at all, and he went on from that to a pretty illustrious career. So
That actually kind of works too, at least at the time. Right?
I also
drafted the 7th round. No one thought you were going to do anything, and now you're Brock Purdy.
Brock Purdy. There you go.
I also
It is Brock
edited
Purdy Awards.
The Big Show, and just because I looked at his IMDb, he's got like like a dozen movies and like 3 dozen TV credits. So apparently he's an actor.
Yeah.
I guess.
Well, I guess wrestling is.
He's no Triple H, but.
Hottest take. So after doing some more research, I found out that Adam Sandler actually did produce and/or write or was on Joe Dirt's. That's his movie, but the speech that Joe Dirt, that the girl gives, is essentially the same as Vicky's speech.
Oh, no kidding.
Oh, is it really?
Like, so many people depend on you. Shout out Erica for this one. She kind of gave me this one, but just like, this town depends on you. Blah blah. Blah. That's a speech she gives to Joe Dirt at the end. Brittany Daniel does about like, well, this is your family, Joe Dirt. Like, yeah, it's literally the same speech, just different words, but like same exact tone. It works. I mean, it's kind of just lame, and one might say gay. What do you got for story?
So these kind of build in each other, and this is going to be a hot take, but most Adam Sandler movies are trash. If you look at his IMDb, you look at his credits, like they're bad, especially the post 2000 stuff.
Jack and Jill.
Jack and Jill's awful. Pixels, Grown Ups. I cannot stand Grown Ups.
Grown Ups is okay.
Oh no, Grown Ups is atrocious.
The cast makes it good though.
Grown Ups 2 is one of the worst movies
way too hard.
I've ever seen in my entire life. I think The Waterboy is funnier than any other Sandler movie, except maybe Happy Gilmore and maybe Billy Madison. But The Waterboy is the best Adam Sandler movie because you've got fully realized character arcs of Bobby, Mama, and Coach Klein all in there, making it a genuinely laugh-out-loud funny, heartfelt, and feel-good movie.
These guys love this movie.
I do love this movie.
I'm just hosting.
Yeah.
I know, I clearly love it too, but like not as much as you guys. But I appreciate it.
I never looked at.
Hopefully, people watching are going to like it. What do you got, Nico?
I got nothing.
You got nothing?
I'm out on hot takes.
You're handsome, though.
Yeah.
And unanswerable questions. Did Kathy Bates and Henry Winkler start dating after? Because of the wedding scene?
You mean the characters or the
characters.
actors? Oh, interesting. Interesting.
Like,
She was
Coach
on the
Klein and Mama, like,
she was on the sideline.
She needs
and
somebody.
he was comforting her.
He's clearly single. He's unhinged. I feel like they do. Right?
like it.
At least he
I
fucks
like
her.
it.
That's it.
I could go for it.
Who's dumber, Forrest Gump or Bobby Boucher?
Bobby Boucher. No, Forrest Gump. No.
It's tough,
That one's tough.
Because Bobby learns about the medulla oblongata.
Yeah,
right?
he got a 97 on the high school equivalency
And
exam.
Bobby Boucher doesn't premature ejaculate by seeing titties just like Forrest Gump does.
We don't know that.
We don't know
Forrest-
that.
PG-13.
We brought it up before, but
I didn't see any like face orgasm. So I will say this: Forrest Gump does much more with his life, but he wasn't sheltered by his mom. His mom wanted him to go out.
True.
Yeah.
Opposite, right? Like, so who is dumber? Tough question.
It's tough. I don't
tough.
know if you got me there.
Forrest is a very simple man.
I'm gonna go with Forrest.
Dumber?
Yep.
Think dumber?
Yep.
I mean, yeah, Bobby 97 on the high school equivalency
100%.
exam.
Yeah, Forrest
And
could do that.
300 questions in 3 hours.
Yeah.
Like,
Good luck to you, sir.
that's pretty. You gotta go pretty quick.
Okay, what was Bobby Boucher's season stats?
Well, I've got some
Say
unanswerable.
10 games.
Oh, you still going?
Yeah. 10 games for
10.
college, we'll say.
Yeah.
16 sacks in week 1. That's official on SportsCenter.
Right.
You know what the NCAA record is for sacks in a season?
I'm gonna guess 22.
You?
29.
It's higher than you think. It's 43.5.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Who? What's it? Will Anderson had 34.5.
Did he?
Recently. Yeah.
Wow,
43.5. I didn't know the guy's name.
I
It
thought
was
it
an
was
old
30
one.
would be it.
No, 43.5. It's college, man.
Yeah, I guess.
I'm guessing it's got to be 100. I mean,
His stats?
yeah, 100 sacks.
Yeah. There's probably games that
And-
they don't. He doesn't need to sack as much. So
How many games did they play?
10.
10.
I said 10.
Yeah.
So 10 a game.
Yeah.
But he's already at 16 the first
I'll
game.
give you 10 again.
That's crazy. So he shattered the record.
And threw a touchdown.
And had those awesome pancake blocks. What do you guys have for unanswered? That's all I had.
This one kind of threw me for a loop. So it's mentioned during one of the SportsCenter broadcasts that this was the first annual Bourbon Bowl. Yet why did the jerseys have a 50th anniversary Bourbon Bowl patch on them?
Weird.
Yeah. And why does everyone at the party after the first win look like they're in their 30s and 40s?
That's they all are.
And why are the coaches there? And why is the biology professor there? I don't understand that.
Because he's making friends with some of the students upstairs.
Okay. I guess
He
so.
went full Bill Belichick.
Yeah. Why? Weird. The big question: does magic exist in the Waterboy universe? So you've got Bobby Boucher's family athletic abilities, both him and Mama, and then the water from the glacier that magically heals him.
Voodoo, absolutely.
Yeah, you think it's voodoo? Yeah.
Magic
Voodoo?
has to exist.
They talked about that voodoo priestess woman that Roberto falls in love with.
The magic Eskimo water,
So you're saying that voodoo magic
absolutely.
does exist in this universe.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It has to.
Final one. Does Mama say foosball or fool's ball? Because I thought it was foosball, F-O-O-S.
That's what I was
Well, you
thought.
put the captions on, and it says fool's ball. F-O-O-L apostrophe.
She's
Okay.
saying
I think the
foosball.
accent's
It's
screwed
okay.
up.
So you think the caption guy screwed up?
Yeah, the accent's throwing them off.
Okay.
My only unanswerable that you guys haven't touched on was everything Farmer Fran says.
There's one we can
Like,
tell,
it's a
but that's
cheesy
it.
answer.
It's.
But, like-
I mean, it's written down somewhere. Somebody must have written it down. Like,
Yeah. Yep.
All right, what memorabilia do you want from this film? I got a couple. Green Notebook. I want the plays.
I think we all got that, right?
I love the little water cup that he gives him when he's having that.
Oh, that's
I had
funny,
that when I
yeah.
was a kid with
Attack,
my little travel
right?
bag. I had one of those. It was awesome.
This is good. This is really good. The Alaska Glacier water, and then I want the
That's it.
tractor, man. I want to cut my grass with that beater of a tractor.
Right?
I want the Bobby Boucher jersey from the Bourbon Bowl, and I want it framed and on my wall so that people who don't know the movie, they come in and they're like, "Oh, whose jersey is that?" I'm like, "That's the MVP of the Bourbon Bowl from 1998."
Yep. I love it. That's awesome. No, I just picked one, and it was the water, the glacier water.
That would be a cool one.
If I had to pick one, but otherwise the jersey, and I kind of like the kicker helmet that he starts with.
Yeah,
I
old
that'd be a
school
cool
kicker.
helmet to have like signed
Yeah.
by the linebacker that had 100 sacks in one season. Single bar kicker helmet.
All right, Apex Mountain, who peaked? I didn't have a lot written down. I just want to talk about Sandler when you think it was. I firmly think it's Big Daddy, highest grossing film. More in the serious realm, but it's still a comedy. I love that movie. You guys didn't have it on your list, but I think that's his apex.
Is that the one that came right after Waterboy?
It's 90. It's 99. I
Because
think.
I read
So, yes.
something where Waterboy's success had a lot to do with the next movie because they had so much money to put into the next
Right,
one.
and the fact that they got away with this movie, as much as we love it, it's bad. The plot's bad. Like the fact that this succeeded, he could do whatever he wanted. So maybe this is it because it's set his career up.
I think this is it. I think this is
kinda
the
do,
peak of
but-
Adam Sandler movies.
No,
I mean,
but dude, Big Daddy fucking made like $400 million, dude.
that's insane to
Right?
me.
Like, because it was just it was a better plot. Like it
It was
was
a real movie. This
a
is
real
a
movie. Yeah, I'm saying it was a real
Th-
movie.
This is not a real movie, but this is like the only Adam Sandler movie that I ever saw in the theaters.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What do you think it was? You think it was this? I think it's Big Daddy.
Yeah.
And some might even say it was Grown Ups. I mean,
This-
I mean, but you look at the
was the
cultural
climb up to
impact.
it, though.
You might see Big Daddy on TNT once every couple of months. You'll see Waterboy on TBS, TNT, AMC at least once a month.
right.
And this is like, give me a quote from Big Daddy.
I wet my own butt.
yeah.
Okay, Scuba Steve.
Yeah.
Like what? I mean, we could
Kangaroo song.
We could-
Kangaroo song.
we could sit here for an hour just
right, the
going
quotes,
through
because we
yeah.
also love this movie.
Yeah.
What do you think his peak is?
I think he was ascending and close to it from this. This led him to like, I'm now successful. I can do whatever, you know. Because at this
Because
point,
he got away with it too.
and he started making about like $30 million a year
Right.
shortly after this.
And then
like,
you got the Happy Madison Productions
Mm-hmm.
too. Do you have anything else for Apex Mountain? I should have put more on here.
It might be Apex Mountain for Kathy Bates in movies. She's done a lot in TV since then, and she had a really incredible career in movies prior to this. But I looked through her IMDb. I didn't see a whole lot in movies
No,
that
she
were
had
very
to have had some
prominent.
after, right?
That was very prominent after this.
Huh. Seemed too young. Seemed too young for Katie.
39.
What do you got? Yeah,
Just in movies. She's done a million things in TV since then.
Yeah. Man, I don't know. Part of me was like the whole Jerry Reed ended, but he wasn't really doing much before this, and like the Henry Winkler was reestablished. Like I wouldn't say peak because the Fonz was obviously his peak, but like this helped him
Hey.
climb
Brought him back.
up again. Like it brought him
Scream was a
back,
couple
yeah.
years later.
Yeah, and like I said with the movie Click too, that he was in there.
Yeah,
So
three movies.
Adam Sandler had him on.
But
a
yeah, it
couple
has to
things.
be the Fonz. I mean,
Yeah.
that's just what he is.
Yeah. So that was a tough one for me. I don't know. I had a hard time.
There's not a lot of things I peaked. I guess just hard hitting football in terms of like bringing back the sports weirdness.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if that's a
Hardcore
category. Who
Right.
won the movie? Got to be Sandler, right? Got to
football.
be
Oh,
Sandler.
Bobby Boucher, man, made friends, got an
Oh, yeah,
education,
Bobby
got a
Boucher.
wife.
The
like,
production company
totally
because
won.
they made 6 times their money on this.
That's true.
I would say mental health awareness, right? Not judging people by their abilities or just by their look, judging them by their abilities. But also, you mentioned earlier, Rob, the soundtrack. I think the soundtrack absolutely won this movie. Like,
It bangs,
you listen
man.
back to it, yeah. Classic.
Banger
yeah.
after banger of classic rock, and just I feel like the timing is great on them, and
Kravitz and
it's great.
Yeah, there's Rush in here. They play Tom Sawyer
the
at one
Rush,
point.
It's so perfect. Like whenever the football scenes hit, got a good song. Whenever he's driving the freaking tractor, love it.
Who got the hooch?
Right? Oh my God, it's an awful song, but it's so perfect. Boom, 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 boom. Ride on the tractor, stealing LT's freaking Porsche.
shitty little.
I'm just thinking about stealing LT's Porsche.
Yep. Why'd you drive so slow at that point? You're in a Porsche.
Doesn't want to lose Bobby Boucher, man.
I know.
Yeah.
All right, boys, let's eat some pizza. We'll be back with Waterboy
There you
a
go.
little bit later.
And it's been a complete joy.